We've got 3 massive Leicester City stories shaking the club right now, including fresh news on a possible points deduction appeal via John Percy, Leicester turning to Gary Rowett to save the season, and a huge Wolves plot to raid Leicester for Abdul Fatawu. And trust me, the final story is the biggest of them all. Stay right here until the very end. Smash subscribe for daily Leicester updates, and let's dive straight into it. This club has been through fires before, and if there is one thing I know about Leicester City, it is this: we do not roll over, we do not beg, and we certainly do not accept being bullied quietly. Because once again, the Foxes find themselves staring down the barrel of football politics, legal loopholes, and a points deduction that has landed us right in the mud of the relegation zone. 6 points wiped off, just like that. Not because we cheated the game, not because we tried to gain an unfair advantage on the pitch, but because the same governing bodies, who change their own interpretations every season, have decided Leicester are an easy target. Funny how that works, isn't it? When others bend the rules, it's complex. When Leicester stand their ground, suddenly it's punishment time. And let me remind you of something. 18 months ago, this club embarrassed the Premier League in court. Properly embarrassed them. They were surprised and disappointed, which in normal language means they lost and they hated it. Leicester proved they could not be punished under their own regulations because the timing of relegation placed the club outside their jurisdiction. Clever? Absolutely. Legal? 100%. But did that sit well with the suits? Of course not. Fast forward to now, and we're hit with fresh charges tied to the 3-year financial cycle ending in June 2024. The figure being thrown around is roughly £20.8 million above the permitted losses. And bang, 6 points gone. But here's where it gets interesting. Leicester are seriously considering appealing again. Not posturing, not leaking. Proper discussion, proper legal analysis. And that tells you one thing. The club believes this punishment can be challenged. It is risky, no doubt. An appeal could theoretically make things worse if the commission decides to play hardball. But everything about Leicester's recent history says we don't back down from a fight, ever. And if you're Gary Rowett watching all of this unfold, you're seeing chaos, but also opportunity. A clear mission: keep Leicester in this division, stabilize the ship, and write yourself into Fox's folklore. The path is brutal, but it's there. So here we are, deducted, angry, cornered, but far from finished. And let me ask you this, Foxes fan, should Leicester roll the dice and appeal again, even if it risks heavier punishment? Or should we accept the 6-point hit and fight purely on the pitch? Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. So here we are, Leicester City, once again, standing at a crossroads, turbulence everywhere, pressure from all sides, and now, one familiar name rising to the surface. Gary Rowett, a blast from the past, a man who once wore the blue, and a man who might now be asked to steady the ship. Rowett's last appearance in a Leicester shirt came away at Fulham back in April 2002. 0-0 draw, yellow card, a grim season that ended in relegation. He moved on, chased top-flight football elsewhere, and carved out a solid 16-year playing career across clubs like Everton, Derby, Birmingham, Charlton, and of course, Leicester. 8 seasons in the Premier League, proper experience, proper grounding. He learned his trade under some serious old-school operators as well. Sam Allardyce, Joe Royle, Peter Taylor, Jim Smith, Trevor Francis, managers who believed in organization, discipline, and hard work. You can see their fingerprints all over the way Rowett sets his teams up today. His coaching journey began at Burton Albion, stepping up when Paul Peschisolido moved aside. No fuss, no drama, just got on with it. Since then, he's had spells at Birmingham twice, Derby, Stoke, Millwall, and most recently Oxford. And let me be clear here, the way Oxford handled his departure was a mess. No clear transfer policy, uncertainty everywhere, losing key players, hardly the environment for success. Rowett is not flashy, he's not a headline grabber. He's pragmatic, structured, streetwise. He sets teams up to compete. 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, compact, difficult to break down. Exactly what Leicester need right now. This is not about beautiful football. This is about survival, about digging in, about winning ugly if necessary, about getting this club out of trouble. And I'll say it straight. This feels like a short-term firefighting, a steady pair of hands. Someone who understands the English game, understands pressure, and understands what it means to fight at the bottom end of the table. We've seen this story before. Managers coming in to do a job, keep us up, stabilize, then rebuild. It's not glamorous, but it can work. If Gary Rowett walks through that door, he deserves backing. Full backing, because whoever takes this job is walking into a storm. So here's the big question for you, Foxes fan. Is Gary Rowett the right man to grind out survival? Or should Leicester be aiming higher, even in the middle of chaos? Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date. Wolves are plotting a bold summer move for Leicester City winger Abdul Fatawu, with sources revealing that the Midlands club are actively monitoring the Foxes star ahead of the next transfer window. Football League World understands that Wolves have already made their interest known as they prepare for what many inside the club believe is the inevitability of relegation from the Premier League. A major rebuild is expected at Molineux, with a significant squad clear-out anticipated as Wolves aim to construct a team capable of challenging for immediate promotion back to the top flight. Abdul Fatawu has emerged as one of the standout performers in the championship this season, despite Leicester City's continued struggles on and off the pitch. The 21-year-old winger has been a rare bright spark in an otherwise underperforming Foxes side, registering 8 goals and 7 assists from 32 league appearances. Wolves' interest is still described as exploratory at this stage, but insiders suggest the club view Fatawu as a potential cornerstone for their future project. His pace, direct dribbling, and end product are seen as ideal qualities for a championship promotion push. Fatawu's performances have not gone unnoticed elsewhere. Premier League sides AFC Bournemouth and Sunderland were both credited with interest back in December, and Wolves now appear to be the latest club to join a growing list of admirers. For Leicester City, the possible departure of Fatawu would represent another serious blow at a time when the club is already battling financial uncertainty, points deductions, and instability behind the scene. Losing one of their most effective attacking players would severely weaken their chances of mounting a strong response next season. As things stand, no formal offer has been submitted, but Wolves' continued surveillance of Fatawu suggests this is a situation that could develop rapidly as the summer window approaches. Hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're passionate about Leicester and want to stay up to date.